I met Danny on a Tuesday night, third shift at the distribution center. Management told me to train him, show him the ropes, keep him busy until sunrise. He was pale, thin, maybe mid-20s. Didn't talk much at first, just nodded and watched me work. "You live around here?" he asked during our break, standing too close. "Yeah, a couple miles out," I said, vague on purpose. He smiled. "Me too." The second week, he started mirroring me. If I crossed my arms, so did he. If I drank coffee black, suddenly he did too. When I mentioned I liked old westerns, he showed up the next shift talking about The Searchers like he'd been a fan his whole life. "You ever go to Sal's Diner?" he asked one night. "Sometimes. Why?" "Just wondered." That smile again, wider this time. 2 days later, I was at Sal's at 2 a.m., my usual spot after work. Danny walked in, saw me, waved. "Crazy, right?" he said, sliding into my booth uninvited. "What are the odds?" I started taking different routes home. He was at the bus stop on 5th, at the 7-Eleven on Parsons. Always that same surprised look, like he couldn't believe it either. Then I saw him outside my apartment, just standing there under the streetlight, staring up at my window. When I came down, he was gone. I told my supervisor. She sighed, said Danny was a little odd, but harmless. I filed a report with the police. The officer barely looked up from his paperwork. "Has he threatened you?" "No, but then there's not much we can do." Things escalated. My spare key went missing. I'd come home to find the TV on, volume low, tuned to a channel I never watched. My toothbrush moved from the left side of the sink to the right. Small things, explainable things, except for the breathing. I'd hear it outside my bedroom window at night, slow, deliberate, like someone savoring the act. I'd throw open the curtains. Nothing, just darkness and the sound of my own heartbeat. The text started a week later. "Unknown number. You look tired today. I like your new jacket. You shouldn't leave your window unlocked." I changed my locks, got a bat, stopped sleeping. At work, Danny acted normal. Too normal. Cheerful even. "You okay, man? You look exhausted." I snapped. "Stay away from me." He looked genuinely hurt. "I don't understand. Did I do something wrong?" Management pulled me aside. Danny had complained that I was harassing him, making him uncomfortable. They suggested I take some time off, get some rest. "You seem stressed." That's when I found the photos on my phone. Hundreds of them. Me sleeping, me at work, me walking home. All taken from angles I'd never noticed. Through windows, from across streets, inside my apartment. I don't remember taking any of them. The metadata showed they'd been uploaded from my own device. Over weeks. My passcode, my fingerprint. But I quit the next day. Packed everything I owned into my car in 3 hours. Didn't leave a forwarding address. Drove 6 hours to a city where nobody knew my name. I'm in a motel room now. 3rd week here, paying cash. I got a new phone, new number. Haven't told anyone where I am. But last night, I woke up to a notification. A photo, sent from my own number to my own number. It's me, asleep, in this room, taken from the foot of the bed. And in the corner of the frame, just barely visible in the darkness, I can see someone standing there, watching. I don't know if it's Danny anymore. I don't know if it ever was. But I'm leaving again, right now, before the sun comes up. I just don't know where left to go. We found the mirror at an estate sale on Maple Street. Victorian, ornate frame, tarnished silver vines curling around spotted glass. Maya said it was perfect for the upstairs bathroom. I should have noticed how cold it felt when I helped her carry it inside. The first incident happened 3 days later. I came home from work and heard Riley laughing in the kitchen. I called out to her, walked down the hallway, and found the kitchen empty, the back door locked from inside. When Riley actually got home an hour later, she looked at me like I was insane. "I've been at the library all day," she said, showing me her parking receipt time-stamped from noon. "You probably heard the TV." We didn't have a TV in the kitchen. Maya saw me next. She texted me while I was at my boyfriend's apartment. "Why didn't you answer when I knocked on your door? Are you mad at me?" I called her immediately. I'm not home. But I just saw you, she insisted. You were standing in your doorway, staring at me. You looked wrong somehow. The silence between us stretched thin. After that, things accelerated. Riley swore she'd had a full conversation with Maya about switching chore weeks. Maya had no memory of it. I found my laptop open to pages I'd never visited, my coffee mug still warm on the counter, when I knew I'd been out all morning. We started asking each other oddly specific questions. What did you eat for breakfast? What shirt were you wearing yesterday? Testing each other, making sure. The mirror hung there through it all, reflecting the hallway in its warped, silvered surface. Sometimes when I passed it, my reflection seemed to move a half-second too slow. It's the mirror, Maya said during an emergency house meeting. It has to be. We took it to the dump that afternoon, all three of us, watched the attendant wheel it away. Drove home in silence, gripping hands like children. For 2 days, nothing happened. We laughed nervously, felt stupid for being so paranoid. Maya made a joke about horror movie logic. Riley ordered pizza to celebrate. But on the third day, I realized Riley's laugh sounded slightly off-pitch. Maya started using phrases she'd never used before, weird little verbal tics that weren't hers. Or were they? Had I just never noticed? I caught myself studying them across the dinner table, looking for tells, for proof they were still themselves. You staring again, Riley said. Sorry, I'm just tired. But I wasn't tired. I was terrified, because even though the mirror was gone, I couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed, that maybe we'd gotten rid of it too late. Last week, Maya moved out, said her sister needed help with the baby. She wouldn't meet my eyes when she said goodbye. Riley's leaving next month. New job in Portland, apparently. She only told me yesterday, even though she must have been interviewing for weeks. I'm planning to break the lease. I've already started packing. This morning, I saw her while brushing my teeth, in the bathroom doorway behind me, not in a mirror, just there, in the flesh, wearing my blue sweater, my hair falling the same way mine does. She was holding a coffee mug, the one I thought I'd left in the kitchen. I spun around. The doorway was empty. When I turned back, she was gone from where I'd seen her too. But the mug was on the counter now, still warm. I'm leaving today. Not next week like I planned. Today. I'll figure out the lease later, pay whatever penalties I have to. But as I'm loading the last box into my car, I keep thinking about something Maya said before she left. I'd asked her why she was really going. She looked at me for a long moment and said, because I'm not sure which one of us is supposed to leave. I didn't understand then. I'm starting to now. Because I can't remember which one of us found the mirror first. I can't remember who suggested bringing it home. And I'm not sure I want to know. The apartment was cheap for a reason. Thin walls, outdated fixtures, a radiator that clanged like someone was trapped inside it. But it was mine, and after 3 months sleeping on my sister's couch, I wasn't complaining. I heard them the first night. Muffled voices through the bedroom wall, my neighbors in 4B. A man and a woman, maybe arguing, maybe just talking loudly. I put in earbuds and tried to sleep. By the end of the week, I could make out words. The woman's name was Sarah. The man never used his own name, but she called him Honey in this flat, careful way. They argued about groceries, about whose turn it was to clean. Normal couple stuff. I felt guilty listening, but the walls were paper thin. Then one night I heard something that made my stomach drop. A scream, raw and terrified. Not like a fight. Like someone dying. Hold her still, the man's voice said, calm as ordering coffee. Shuffling, dragging sounds. Then the woman, not Sarah, a different voice, begging. Please, please, I won't tell anyone." The sound that followed made me drop my phone. Silence after that, long and absolute. I sat frozen in bed until dawn, trying to convince myself it was a movie, a TV show, anything else. The next morning I saw them in the hallway. Sarah, blonde, mid-30s, yoga mat under her arm. The man, tall and clean-cut, holding grocery bags. They smiled at me like we were old friends. "Morning," Sarah said brightly. "You sleep okay?" These walls are so thin. I couldn't breathe, couldn't speak. Just nodded and hurried past. That night I heard them cleaning. Scrubbing sounds, the splash of water. Sarah's voice. "Did you see her face this morning?" She definitely heard. "She's not sure," the man replied. "She won't say anything." "How do you know?" "Because she's still here." I pressed my hand over my mouth to keep from making a sound. The next day, I saw them carrying heavy garbage bags to the dumpster. Black contractor bags, the expensive kind, 3 of them. They waved at me from across the parking lot. I should have called the police, I should have run, but who would believe me? I heard voices through a wall, I saw trash bags, that's all I had. Then they started talking about me. "She goes to that coffee shop on Harlow every morning," Sarah said one night. "Leaves at 7:43, takes the same route to work." My blood went ice cold. "She's alone," the man added. "No boyfriend. Her sister's in Maine. She told the landlord when she signed the lease." "Think she'd scream loud?" Sarah asked. "With walls this thin?" I grabbed my keys with shaking hands and went to knock on their door. I don't know what I was thinking. Confrontation? Proof I was imagining things? Sarah answered, same pleasant smile. Behind her, the apartment was spotless. Bleach smell. New deadbolts on the inside of the door. 3 of them. Industrial grade. "Can I help you?" she asked sweetly. I couldn't finish the sentence. "Heard what?" The man appeared behind her, filling the doorway. His eyes were flat, empty. "Nothing. Sorry, wrong apartment." "You look scared," Sarah said, tilting her head. "Is everything okay?" "Fine. I'm fine." As I turned to leave, the man spoke quietly. "Thin walls go both ways. You should remember that." That night, I heard them discussing timing, the landlord's schedule, when the building was emptiest, my work hours, how my bedroom window faced the woods, not the street. I didn't sleep. At 3 a.m., I heard footsteps in the hallway outside my door, stopping, starting, then the soft sound of someone testing my doorknob. I was packed and in my car by sunrise, left everything I couldn't carry, broke the lease, didn't ask for my deposit back. The landlord could keep it all. I moved 4 hours away, different city, different building, concrete construction, security cameras, a doorman, top floor. I paid 6 months up front. It's been a year now. I've never told anyone the whole story. What would I say? That I heard something? That my neighbors scared me? There were no bodies found, no missing persons reports from that area that matched. Maybe I imagined the worst. Maybe it was a movie after all. But sometimes, I still wake up at 3 a.m., heart pounding, listening for footsteps. I keep my phone charged by my bed, pepper spray in my nightstand. I researched the building's history before moving in. No crimes, no complaints. I know my neighbors' names, their jobs, their schedules. I make sure they see me, know me, would notice if I disappeared. And I never, ever put my ear against the wall. Not because I'm afraid of what's on the other side, because I'm afraid of what happens to people who listen.